Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the season 2 of the ODPP Café. The show is on Facebook at the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions Kenya. We are also on Twitter at ODPP_KE. We are on YouTube as well at ODPP, at the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. I welcome you to follow, to subscribe, to invite a friend, to tell a friend, to come and join us in the discussion. The show is brought to you by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, and it's meant to educate you, to inform you, to tell you what to do sometimes when you're in contact or in conflict with the law, or sometimes just to get to understand what the law says about certain things in our daily lives. So karibu sana, welcome, and let's engage on the show. So as always, we start with the court cases to just tell you a bit of what has been happening in the courts. And the usual disclaimer is that this is not exhaustive. We're just telling you a few of the cases that have been in the courts. Have a look at this. So, karibu sana, and today we are in Makadara. We are in Makadara in Eastlands, and mahali wanasema wanawalombotov. I don't know how they say karibu tov. So anyway, karibu sana, we are today in Makadara, and Makadara is celebrating 1 year of using the UADILIFU case management system. And I'd like for my guests to introduce themselves before we get into the show. So the ladies first, Dimple Nation.
Good morning.
Yes.
My name is Jacqueline Omol, and I'm a Principal Prosecution Counsel, currently at Makadara Law Courts.
Itabidi useme hiyo sheng ndio tukuachilie.
I don't speak that language.
Oh well. So karibu sana. It's not the first time that Jackie is on the show.
Yes.
So yeah, but for those who don't know who you are, I hope they got your name right.
Thank you for having me back.
Karibu sana. Mwenyewe, you have to start with Lombot of language. This has to happen. Yes.
We say tunawakarimbimbi tisha.
Unaona?
Hii ni Makadara. My name is Joseph Mburugu, a Principal Prosecution Counsel. I'm the in charge of the ODPP in Makadara. Yes.
Just a bit of background about Makadara, because I know it's one of the busiest offices at the ODPP. So how many is it? What is the jurisdiction like? how do you describe the activity in Makadara? How many stations do you serve?
We serve 42 police stations. We serve the entire of Eastlands. We start from Kenyatta University, the whole of Thika Road, and we border CBD at Tomboya Street towards yes, towards Kangundo Road up to Kamulu.
42?
42 police stations.
Quite busy.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's Makadara for you.
Okay.
Yes.
So, since you're in charge, why are we here today? What is the reason why we are here today?
We are here to celebrate 1 year since UADILIFU was set up here in Makadara. As you are aware, once the system was launched, we used to do it at the headquarters. But on the 1st of September 2021, we started doing it here in Makadara, and it was the first out of station outside the headquarters that started doing UADILIFU.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, so 1 year now?
It's 1 year.
Okay.
That's why we are here.
Welcome. Karibu sana. Asante kwa kutukaribisha.
Yes.
So Jackie, for the person who doesn't know what case management or UADILIFU is, what is UADILIFU and why is it so important that we're even celebrating this today?
Why is it?
Yeah.
So just like you said, UADILIFU is the ODPP's case management system that was implemented now in Makadara last year, 1st of September 2021 is when we actually started implementing the same here. UADILIFU is a system that assists us as prosecutors to be able to manage our work better, easier, and efficiently. And also it shows that we have integrity in how we are doing our business here in Makadara as prosecutors. Yeah.
Okay. So what was it like before then?
Before
42 stations coming here. So what was it like before?
It was hectic.
Yeah.
Yes. But we all the things we're doing were quite physical, right? We had a lot of paperwork happening at that particular time. Following up on certain cases would be very difficult because we didn't have a system to go back and easily access and find what we're looking for. And since we have 11 courts running at Makadara, it would be very difficult to find out what Court 1 is doing as opposed to what Court 11 is doing as the in charge. It would be very difficult for him to find out what's happening where. But now that we have the case management system, just by the click of a button, he's able to see what we are doing in the courtrooms and follow up any cases that need to be followed up on.
Okay. Yeah, so just tell us a bit about case management. What are some of the features that are so important for this to work?
The most important feature is the e-filing. We file cases electronically, so we are able to track cases. There is also another important function of case management. We have a central case register, where we register all cases that come in. Then,
so that's done here? It's
done here. Then we have the issue of the scanning of the files, police files. It has really helped us. We are able to have now our own codes, a registry of files, electronic registry of files. So in terms of backup of files, we are okay. Even if a police officer loses a file, we are able to reconstruct our own files. We are able to know the number of cases we have registered at a click of a button.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. So why should I, Anita, as a citizen, care that UADILIFU is here?
Why should you care?
Yes, why is it important to me?
Because as a citizen, if you do have a case in Makadara law courts right now and you have any queries, you can easily come to us and quite easily be able to be assisted because now we have all the information at hand. Yes, and that's why case management is so important. You can come today and ask me about which date is my matter coming up as a complainant, and all I need to do is just go on the system and I'll tell you, your hearing is on this and this date. So you don't have to go to court, work for hours, call people, write letters and do all those things. You walk in here, give us the case number and we're able to assist you immediately. Yes.
So it's not accessible to me as a public, it's just for the prosecutors?
Yes, it's just for the ODPP.
For the ODPP?
Yes.
Okay. 1 year, what are the gains? What have you seen different?
Well, the office has really grown. When UADILIFU came here, it came with its own goodies. There was an increase in the number of staff.
Oh.
We acquired this comfy office.
Yeah.
We have been able to serve our clients better. At least now we are able to respond to complaints and other issues very fast. So we have grown over the years, and we are a good example to the rest.
Good.
Yeah.
So you talked about e-filing as one of the most important things that takes place under UADILIFU. So what is e-filing? Is it e-filing?
Yes.
Yes, there's e-filing and e-disclosure.
Yes.
You have to break those ones down, Julie, kuna vile. So e-filing, why is it important that it is happening?
Well,
Or first of all, what is it?
e-filing is, well, the word filing is submitting something somewhere.
Yeah.
So we file cases in court electronically.
Okay.
We scan the charge sheets and we send them to the judiciary electronically.
Okay.
E-filing.
All right.
So once we e-file, we get an E-number. Yeah.
From the courts?
From the courts.
Okay.
A number generated by the judiciary.
Yeah.
So that is the number that we'll use to track the cases.
Okay.
Yes.
So tracking happens as well?
Yes.
All right.
That is e-filing.
So wezi niambia file yangu imepotea?
That's a language of the past.
Okay, interesting. So e-disclosure, what is that?
Just like he said, disclosure.
Okay.
So you're disclosing. So what happens in e-disclosure is that you're doing the disclosure electronically. Sometimes you have quite a number of paperwork in a particular file, and having to print all those documents and physically serve them would be difficult. So the e-disclosure is the process that allows us to be able to serve these documents electronically. Because by law, as prosecutors, we are obligated to make sure that we have served the accused persons with the documents we're going to use in our case. So in case there's bulky paperwork, we don't need to print them and serve them. We can serve them electronically.
I can't say I didn't receive the email.
Well, there's processes and procedures in the courtroom in which we do a pre-trial. So you will come to court and confirm whether you have indeed received all the documentation. So even when you say you haven't, and we have been able to show that this has happened, then the court will be able to see whether you've been properly served or not properly served.
So nowadays there's no dragging of suitcases going to court?
Not necessarily. You can do it if you want to, but we are trying to move to a place where we are able to be efficient, and it is efficient for us now to be able to use the technology that is coming with the times.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. When we did, the first time we did a show on case management, somebody said they've been praying for this for so long, apparently, that it will eliminate rogue police and state and judicial officers. Why would someone say that? Is it that before then there was an opportunity to corrupt the system to the disadvantage of the citizen?
Well, like Mr. Mburugu mentioned earlier, we now scan all our files, right? So when we scan all our files, and let's just say that probably there's an officer who has lost his file, whether intentionally or unintentionally, we are able to reconstruct the file from our offices and proceed to trial, right? Or if they are not able to bond witnesses, maybe they don't want to bond witnesses, but we have copies of the scanned file here. We can access the witnesses' information and make those calls ourselves. So maybe that's what the person was trying to let you know. Yes.
All right. So the future, Mr. Mburugu?
Well, I like being very optimistic. We once attended a meeting and we were told if it works in MAKADARA, it can work
nice.
anywhere else. So for the future, let this thing be devolved to the counties.
All right.
We know the UADILIFU case management system has got 5 modules. At the moment, we're implementing 2 of the 5, that is e-filing and document tracking. We hope in future, and the very near future, that we shall now adopt all the other modules and be ahead of everyone else.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like we haven't really talked to the likes of me who are non-legal. Yes. Exactly what happens? Like all these 42 stations bring their charge sheets to you. I mean, what is the process like? If you just a bit of explanation as to what this is.
So in the morning, the police officers will bring their files here. We will have counsels present in the office who will be able to peruse the files and make the decision to charge. We will also have our other support staff who are present and very helpful, by the way. They're the ones who now scan the files when they come. Once the prosecutor has made the decision to charge, they are scanning the files, they are scanning the charge sheets. the charge sheet that has been scanned will be uploaded into the judiciary system to generate an e-number. The scanned files will remain in our system, and the police will take their physical files to court for plea taking. So basically that's what happens in the morning.
Okay.
All the police files that come from the 42 stations have to be looked at by council to make the decision to charge or not to charge.
Okay, okay.
And then now that is when the support staff comes in and assists us with the scanning and the e-filing.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We've been here before and it was quite busy, and we saw it. I just wanted that for the benefit of the person who doesn't know exactly why this is important for them. It means a file cannot just, a charge sheet cannot just come from the police station straight to the courts without passing here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Eastlands are covered.
Eastlands is okay.
All right, I think that is just it. We were invited here by the MAKADARA team to just celebrate with them 1 year of UADILIFU system working for them and with them here. A lot of nice stories have come out of here. There's no more lost files. There's no more miscarriage of justice. There's just a whole process that takes place that is definitely covered under the UADILIFU case management system. It means your case is safe, your file is safe. You can come and ask, you can walk into this office and make an inquiry about your case, track it, and of course, for the accused and even victims, there's disclosure of evidence of whatever it is you have. They can be done electronically. So it's called e-disclosure. Of course, it is now joined to the judiciary via the e-filing. So the processes are working, and what we are here to say is that UADILIFU has done one successful year in MAKADARA, and they hope that it is going to go around the country as well. So like Mburugu says, if it works in MAKADARA, it can work anywhere, clearly, because MAKADARA is very busy. So I want to leave you with some of the speeches that were said during this event. It was quite a brief event, but very impactful. Have a listen as to what the other experts have to say about the UADILIFU case management system, and most especially that it has worked very well in MAKADARA for 1 year. I want to end the show. I want to thank you for joining us. Again, feel free to comment, feel free to subscribe, tell a friend to join us again next week as we tackle a different topic. Asanteni sana. I'm about to say your language, but asanteni sana. Kwa kuwa na sisi, Oswayo is also part of how we do it. But anyway, thank you very much, Mburugu, for the invite. Thank you, Jackie. And again, we'll invite you to the show once again.
Thank you.
All right.
We are proud of MAKADARA efforts. There was quite a number of different issues. Most importantly, UADILIFU is not for the urban elite, or as they call it, the plague counties. UADILIFU is the in thing for the whole office. The intention is to digitalize our system, but two, to quantify whatever we are doing. And number three, to measure our workload and success or failures based on a scientific data. The other thing UADILIFU or this system is bringing on board is a memory of who transacted what and what decision you made. I always tell everybody, don't fear making a decision. It's worse off not making one than making a wrong decision. I think that's the rule in management. You rather make a wrong decision than failing to make a decision, because then you give, with your decision, you give an opportunity for other stakeholders to come into play. Review, process comes in based on the decision you have made. So we are proud that you have done a year. We are proud that you have embraced the technology. It looks cumbersome, but as we move forward, this being the end thing, it will make our work easier. The prosecutor's diary, Ms. Omola, I saw you uploading it. It is making work easier and accountable. For MAKADARA, we are proud to be associated with you. We are proud that you are doing what you are doing. And we're also proud that you are making the baby milestones for the ODPP as well as the UADILIFU system. That it's doable, it doesn't need to be at the headquarters to benefit from the infrastructure from the headquarters. It can be done. A challenge to the to the deputies to capacity build all these field stations, so that whatever we are doing here, whatever benefit we are doing here, is rolled out to all field stations, so that as an office we can now have a uniform way of operating. Thank you very much. I think that will be it.
I will not repeat what Mr. Meroka indicated, because that is exactly what it is. There is no innovation that I'm going to create. Mine is to indicate that I have a message from our boss, the in charge of the entire ODPP. That is Madam Irene Maina. The reason why she's not here is because she is training some of our colleagues in different quarters, different stations, and currently she's in she decided to be here. But why is she going around training people? Why is this always so much investing in having all those trainings? You can appreciate now we are training people in different, actually in all the counties. We are doing it because it was tried in MAKADARA and it worked. That's the reason why actually I commend that this is something that deserved celebration. It's something that you need to have a continuous celebration. You have paved the way for the others. Because essentially when Madam Nandela started all this process, was done at the head office. That's why all of us congregated, starting with Mr. Nandela, Meroka, Borogo, Moore, and myself and our teams. So now when they tried this, came to MAKADARA, worked, we appreciated that it can work somewhere else. But actually it is working, particularly for the document tracking. The reason why the issue of the e-filing has not been enrolled to other stations is because of the delay in the judiciary. Because we need to be interfaced with them so that we can send our matters and get the numbers. So once that is done by the judiciary, I believe the DPP will be up and running, because we are ready and we are well prepared. We have the equipment and we are training people to have a better workforce. So essentially, I believe that's a message that I remain would have given you. Congratulations for paving the way.
Madam, we took up from where you left us. We all learned UADILIFU from you. Remember, we used to come at the headquarters and used to tell us, and there's no way we could have celebrated without calling you. It would have been very long. This team, up to date, always remembers. Kitu kidogo kifanyika, I wish Najala angekuwa hapa. I wish Najala angekuwa. So, but we still have memories of you, and we are grateful that you made time to come and celebrate with us. UADILIFU is UADILIFU. Very soon, for the new council, we will be taken through induction, and I'm sure one of the questions maybe Madam will be there to induct you is whether you've interacted with UADILIFU. Nani atasema ajui UADILIFU hapa? Please do not embarrass us as Madam Nandela. So, I'm very proud of you. You work as a team. In the morning, ukikuja hapo utapata ni kama hospitali. Kisikia umeona isema Joko, shauri moyo. And Risco with a cool voice, Embakasi. But it's quite enjoyable to work. And thank you, team, for the support you've given us. Let us take UADILIFU to the next level. And I'm sure, even if the blue letter comes and says it has been decided, now you can go confidently that you are a step ahead of the rest. So, anyway, now with those few remarks, let me invite Madam Christine Anjala to give her remarks. She is our chief guest today. Karibu, Madam.
Indeed, it is a pleasure to be back. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. From the days of the container up to where you guys are right now. It's been a journey, and a good journey for that matter, and something to always be grateful for. And as I was driving, I'll remember each and every one, and I have a story about each and every one of them. I have a story about Omol. I have a story about Mburugu. You know, when all these guys reported, I have their stories, and everything was playing in my head. When Abene came, when Jen Linet appeared, and she was wondering where does she start. When Caro got her letter to come to Makadara, and she thought the world had ended, you know. When Rispa appeared and tells me, now this is what I have done. I miss Nora, where is she? Nora holds a special place. You know? And that was a team, you know, Kilambio, and we gelled, and it was a team. And for everyone, I knew, each and every one of them, there's something I knew about them. Mr. Meroka usually tells me, there was a time he told me, and I sat down and actually thought about it. He told me that I have two sides. I have one side that can be very nice and very caring. Then I have another side that can be very irrational. And I was thinking about that. I remembered one day Festus telling me that that was the first time he ever saw a police officer being told rudi na hii file. Hakuwa amewahi iona inafanya, ati inaweza fanyika. But it is understanding who you are and where you stand. You know that by the time that you're holding that pen and signing that charge sheet, you're actually altering lives. Not one life, not two lives. You're altering families, you're altering communities. And if someone does not meet the required standard that allows you to use that pen and use that power, please do not exercise it. Because whatever you're doing is not for that moment. It actually goes for eternity. And when you're signing that charge sheet, be sure that if it is not you prosecuting that matter in court, whoever is going to stand with that file in court, they will secure that conviction. So if you're not convinced, don't move. If it does not meet the required threshold, don't use that pen. Sometimes I think as prosecutors we do not understand what we hold in our hands. And that is where we mess up. When you allow issues of integrity to come and compromise your decisions, always remember that it is not one life, it is not two lives, but it is a community that you're altering. And it actually changes the course of a lot of things. So with UADILIFU, you get the opportunity to sit down as a team, sometimes and even consult. At least that time, now you can now consult amongst yourselves. When I came to Makadara, Makadara was Makadara. This is Mburugu saying UADILIFU is UADILIFU. Makadara was Makadara. There is nothing that I haven't seen in this station. Hata ukikuta bali kunapata kuna notice imeandikwa no firearms beyond this point. There's a reason. Ask for the story, you will be told. So, and it has grown over time. But what held us was the grace of God. And we allowed ourselves to serve, despite the odds. And we appreciated our position, not an appendage of the judiciary, but as an office and the role that we played in society. So let us keep it at that. It is service to God and to humanity. Before you take that pen and sign that charge sheet, be very sure of what you're doing. Let it be for the right reason. Before you call, and you see everyone else contributes, yes? Before you call the driver and tell him peleka hii mahali fulani, be very sure. Because at the end of the day, mtu asikuone wewe ni dereva peke yake. Whatever you're contributing to is actually bigger. Whatever the prosecution clerk is contributing to is actually bigger. Everyone has a role to play. Tukisema sahi mfanye data, prosecution counsel, kila mtu atasema nini? Kazi ni nyingi, si ndio? So hiyo prosecution clerk ana kazi yake. Ofisi ikiwa chafu, mtakaa? Heshima. That is how we live. Mungu kwanza, tuheshimiane. Tunaweza kosa kupendana lakini kazi isonge. Si ndio? Leo nilikwambia si lazima tupendane, si ndio? Lakini kazi utachapa. Si ndio? Lakini tulipendana. So for me, I'm grateful and I'm thankful. This journey has not been easy, and it's not going to get easy. But focus. UADILIFU to the rest of the country, it's not going to be an easy task. I started it in Nyeri. The challenges were similar to what we're experiencing here. But it's going to move. And I'm sure soon and very soon, we will get the blue letters. They will come. So wherever we are all going, ukifika huko, whatever you have, you make it better. Whatever you've gotten here, you make it better. But I guarantee you, anyone who's in Makadara, there will never be a tougher station than Makadara. Once you hack this station, you can work anywhere within this country with no minimal stress. Afisa hata kucheka. Mr. Meroka, am I saying the truth? Once you hack Makadara, hakuna station itakushinda. Because this is a very heavy station and a very unique station. So you've got 0048 out of the 47 counties. This is 0048. Because how many police stations do you attend to? 42. Yes. You need Nairobi mzima. So this is 048, and let 048 continue shining as long as you're here. But do not forget, be grounded. Kumbukeni Mungu kila wakati. That is what kept us. I'll come here at 6, I pray. We hold each other to tubebane hivi. Na mheshimiani at all times. No matter how bad the court is, heshima idumu kotini. Because remember, one day, you never know when your paths are going to cross, isn't it? Yeah. Heshima idumu kotini. So here, I think things are a bit easier. But it is well. So I think I have paid for my food. Yes, I have paid for my food, and I look forward to coming back next year with another invention added on top of UADILIFU. Because there's nothing that stops us from keeping on inventing. There's nothing that stops us from getting better. So even as you're doing it, think, what else can you add? Hold the first what? Be the first to launch a Quest Digest. Analyze your files. Do for us a crazy report that informs us on what to do as management. You get? Let something else come out of Makadara. That will be my joy. Sawa? Na kama mtu anawakanyagia, tafuta njia. Mkuje, tutawashika. Mburugu akiwakataza, kujeni. Kina afisa zote washika mkono. Milimani will own the process. Sindio? Rispa. Ni sawa. Mimi nashukuru na Mungu awabariki zaidi na zaidi na zaidi. Sawa sawa. Baraka tena.
Hi everyone. Hi. I think the new councils mmesikia hiyo talk here, nadhani mkakumbuka talk yetu. Yes, we learned from the best. We learned from the best. But I want to thank all of you for making time to come here to celebrate this. It's a huge milestone for us as Makadara. And I want to thank Festus, Kerubo, our colleagues who have come from Limani. Thank you so much. Madam Nanzala, I usually tell her she's our mother. Hata kienda afya ni mama yetu bado. Yeah, sasa ozi lipia hiyo food na nini. Kwa sababu kama mama ukikuja nyumbani kwetu, utakula na utaendelea tu kurudi. So thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. We really appreciate you. As you can see, we've taken up all the things that you taught us. Sorry, I want to get emotional. We've taken up everything that you taught us, and anyone will tell you Mburugu is one of the best bosses we have had here, because we all learned what we know from Madam. She led us so well. She knew how to treat each and every personality the way you usually say. And yes, and we are here because she allowed us to be able to be who we are. She gave us the space to be able to express ourselves in this office, to take a stand in this office. She gave us power to say no to police officers, power to make sure the judiciary respects us. She did all that for us. It was a huge fight, and she did it, and we really appreciate you, and we will continue to do so. Mr. Mburugu, thank you for enabling us to have this. Without you and your support, we would not be able to do it. My colleagues from Milimani, the clerks that we worked with, asanteni sana kwa kuja kututembelea. We started from far, and we're here. Peter, thank you for coming, yes? And my colleagues who are here, the staff that we have here, the prosecutors, the clerks, the legal researchers, everyone. as if we were not the team that we are, we would not be here today. The reason why we work so well and why UADILIFU works so well here is because everyone knows their job and does it. So I want to thank you so much for doing your job and loving to do your job, because without each one and every one of you, we would not be here. So asanteni sana watu wa Makadara. Sawa sawa. I think that's it. I'll call Joy so that she can take over the program with the cake.